And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We back.
Yeah.
To talk about some stupid shit, but whew, man.
Yes.
And
how was your week?
Trying, but I made it through.
Trying in what way? Do you swear to divulge? No, it's kidding.
No, just had some of those anxiety days that are kind of new to me.
Are they built into the schedule?
No. God, no. I hope not. Are they?
Anxiety day.
No, so it was just one of those, like, kind of really assessing mental health, had a doctor's appointment, and all kinds of other adulting things that just drag on. But still good.
Dragons?
Overall. Double dragons, actually.
Game of Thrones?
No. Get out of here. Throw it in the trash. Nope. But how are you doing this week?
It's been a busy week. That's where I am. And last week was a busy week as well. So maybe I'll get a little bit more specific. Just this week has been full of a lot of meetings, a lot of getting ready to, doctor's appointments and things of that nature. Just also adulting. Yeah, it's just been all over the place, honestly. I actually don't want to get too specific because it's not exciting to talk about.
I mean, I think the progression of the mixing and mastering of the album is also coming along quite well.
No, it's not.
Quite extraordinary.
It's just one song.
It's just one. But for me, that's monumentous.
One is monumentous.
All you need is one shot. But what are we?
Or one mic.
Dang it. I missed the whole opportunity.
There you go.
But we have two mics, so.
Mom Spaghetti. Have you seen that video?
Yeah. Spaghetti.
No. It's not that one. It is a whole entire video. It's lose yourself, but just
whoa.
Mom Spaghetti. That's what that's what happens. Go watch it.
Okay.
Go check it out.
Okay. I'll get back to you guys on that. But today we're here to talk about DJ Akademiks.
I can already feel that you're in your feels.
Dog, I'll say the thoughts for after the.
He should not bother you this much.
It's not that he himself bothers me. It's the platform and those that would follow him that now bother me.
Well, he's a troll. That's what he does. Is he plants trolls.
Yes.
And then makes little troll trees all over the place.
Yes. I just think there are other ramifications, and for him, in a lot of different ways, he's the poster child for quote unquote gangster rappers to talk about why the people who aren't in the street shouldn't be talking about hip hop and stuff. And
I think Akademiks is not really a poster child for anybody but his audience.
Okay.
Like, ultimately, DJ Akademiks is not, and we can get fully into this later, but he doesn't represent all of young people. He doesn't represent all of anybody, really, but his specific audience, the folks that follow him, his tribe. Those are the folks that he really represents because they identify and they align. anybody that he misaligns with is almost a polar opposite of his viewpoints.
Okay. I mean, that's definitely the mature way of looking at it. Fuck that nigga is how I feel.
All right, so the story is DJ Akademiks, and we're going to play a bit of this, got on his stream, and this is reported from The Breakfast Club. On his stream, he was talking about how basically older rappers are dusty, and the reason why he said that older rappers are dusty is because he feels as if older rappers have not contributed to the success of newer artists, and their ability to show their clout or monetary gain isn't doing much for the culture. So basically, if they are an older rapper from the 70s and 80s, these are the folks that he's talking about specifically, pioneers, and they're broke right now, he says that they're not really doing anything for the culture because they are broke and dusty. And then we'll get into how LL Cool J disagrees later on. So that's what it is. I'm going to play this clip really quick, and we'll react to that.
Bro, have you seen any of these old rappers who be like, yo, they're the foundation of hip-hop, really living good? Them be looking really dusty. I kid you not. And none of y'all try to comfort me because I don't y'all either. So I'm just tell y'all the truth. Y'all be looking like, every time they be like an old talking about hip-hop, you be like, yo, bro, you sure you invented this? Because everybody else living better than you.
So I'll pitch to you first. What do you think about that?
Like, what kind of, like, and this is why I guess I'm triggered by, like, what kind of audience are you talking to? Even if you're talking to like a young kid, there's a difference between like having respect, being young, knowing that you have a voice. What is the purpose of it? What is the purpose of what you're saying? And on the front end, you already say, hey, don't y'all, none of y'all come for me because I don't fool with none of y'all, no way. And it's like, you're already knowing people are going to come for you, and you were probably talking to somebody specific that you just didn't name out that either hurt your feelings, didn't want to do an interview with you, or whatever the case may be. And so, or somebody that tried to sun you maybe, or whatever. I just don't see the purpose of even having this thought, what it actually builds towards or is saying to your audience. It lacks nothing. Or it
lacks everything?
It lacks everything, excuse me.
Yeah. I don't know. I believe that what he's trying to say to older rappers is that you haven't helped anybody out, and with your contribution to the culture, it doesn't mean anything because we're not seeing the results of your contribution, right? You don't have anything. You don't own anything at this point. And that's really fucked up.
Are we not the results of that?
We can get into that later. I think after we watch the third clip, I think that argument that you just posed, are we not the results of it, really shines.
Okay.
But how do you feel that, why do you think he's even going this hard? Because obviously he's in this emotional space. Like,
simply, like I said, I think it was somebody who sunned you, who said something to you to try to little boy you in some conversation. That's all I can gather. Because he's such a troll that it has to come from somewhere. And it's always a slight, because the way Akademiks speaks, when he was talking about when he went on a $1 Million Gang or Gilly's podcast or whatever, and they was trying to like calm him down because he keeps talking to street niggas and things in a certain way. And it's like, you talk in that troll way of I'm untouchable. Like, the words I say, I want them to have meaning, but they don't have that kind of meaning and that kind of effect, and that shouldn't be the response in all of these other things. So I just think somebody disrespected him. I don't know who it was, and then he decided to talk shit.
what I hear from that is a lack of respect for anybody that is not within his generation.
Right.
And he assumes that everybody in his generation doesn't listen to anybody that's older, which is it's kind of ridiculous.
Right. What do you think where do you think he was coming from, or what do you think incited this?
I think that number one, he's a troll, obviously, right? That goes without saying. But because he wants to inflame people, he has to say the thing that's going to get under people's skin and it's going to go viral. Because if he doesn't continue to go viral, then he's not really going to have a platform, right? His platform will die off over time. And he even says later on that, you know, some people basically have a shelf life of, 10 years, right? And you in hip hop, that's what it is. But I disagree. I think the primary reason why he's doing this is because he feels as a younger person in the hip hop generation, and I don't even know if I feel like he's a part of hip hop, but it is what it is. He's here, like he's tangibly a part of it because he's just been inserted.
Nope.
But you gotta stop doing that. I lose my train of thought much more easy now. Anyway, he's tangibly a part of hip hop culture because he's been inserted into the culture, but he is still an outsider. And that feeling of being an outsider has led to these type of comments. The feeling of people downing Future from early on in the, like, the pioneers and other people being critical of Future and other people like Future has brought about this kind of malice, this us versus them sort of dichotomy where it's young versus old. And the reality is that he just wants to stick on that point.
Yeah, never mind. I almost said something mad disrespectful, but it lacks so much understanding. And I get it when you're young, but he ain't that young. He's closer to us, is he not?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You gotta stop making these statements.
We don't check facts. We don't do facts.
Come on, man.
But either way, I don't think he's in this place of not having experienced a lot of things that, to me, should have bridged information to a different understanding. I feel like he tries to stand in that, and like I said earlier, you stand in that outsider place, and it's like you stand on the outside of the club looking in, yelling at the club, and you got other people who couldn't get in the club standing with you now. And it's like, but why are you so obsessed with us instead of just being like, you got a whole place now? You shouldn't have to focus on us.
Well, yeah, so what you're saying is he has a platform, he's built a platform, and actually his own argument is kind of working against him. He has built this thing that is his own.
Yeah.
And he says that his audience doesn't care about what other people are saying, but yet he spends the time talking about it. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and jump to what LL Cool J had to say in response to Akademiks on this. And again, it's reported by The Breakfast Club. So let's see if I can cue this up really quick.
It came to my attention that a DJ, I'm not going to say any names because I don't think it's necessary. A DJ basically said that a lot of the pioneers in hip hop are, they're dusty, or how can they be the person that, invented hip hop if they don't have a lot of money, or if they don't represent like they have a lot of dough, right? Let me explain something to you. Don't confuse someone's ability to develop a business model. Don't conflate. In other words, don't think just because somebody knows how to get money or fails to get money that they didn't make a contribution to the culture. This idea that you have to have money or else you don't have any value is a bad idea, and it's a misinformed way of looking at the world.
So That was LL Cool J responding to DJ Akademiks, and quite frankly, he makes a point that, look, just because somebody may not have money now in the culture doesn't mean they didn't have a significant impact to the culture. And in fact, like, most people weren't making a lot of money back then either,
No.
and they still had a significant impact. And so I think there's a lot to Cool J's point. So my question is, where is LL wrong, or is he wrong?
No, I don't see him as wrong on any level, because the thing is, when you're talking about building things, you have to understand that the foundation is not the final part of the house. And I know sometimes, like, I've spoken in the past about, like, the Ford model is something that we respect, but I'm not trying to drive a Ford model nowadays. But I understand what it did. If I don't get the Ford or the T model and everything, then I don't get the car that I drive today. We don't get these electric cars. We don't get these other conveniences that we have in life without the innovation that started it. And in hip hop, there's so much in this 50 years or almost 50 years where there's like no precedent for the things that people were doing. Like, these were people who created something without any kind of structure. They created something and built it up. Like, it wasn't a business then. It was a feeling. Then it started to become a business. And the places that it is now are just so much more because of what they did. And I don't know. I don't see him as wrong. I was about to get mad and start cussing at Akademiks again. So I'm going to pass it to you.
Wait a minute. You want me to answer the same question?
Yes.
Okay. So is LL Cool J wrong about any of this? I have to really, I really have to dig deep to be objective about this, right? So here's what I think. I think that there's more to what Akademiks said to this clip that hasn't been played because of the next thing that we're gonna play, and that's kind of why I'm alluding to that. Like, I feel like there's more to the story, but just based off of what LL heard, or whatever section LL heard or responded to, no, I don't think LL is wrong about this. And the reason why I don't think he's wrong about this is because that works that way with anything that becomes a popular business, that anything that becomes a popular culture, right? The pioneers aren't always going to get the credit for the things that are done. But if something is still existing some 40 years later, then there has to be, like almost 50, there has to be some credit due to the individuals that sacrificed. And this is what I'm focused on most. Because if they're not getting paid now, they made a sacrifice.
Yeah.
They made a sacrifice to those individuals that do it now. They made a sacrifice to their livelihood at the time. They made a sacrifice to a lot of the businesses or the individuals that profited off of them. And that cannot be taken lightly. It's not something that, I don't think Akademiks understands the full scope of hip hop history. And even if he does, he acts as if he doesn't.
Well, and he doesn't come off as he respects it, because the thing is, he also knows what will go viral. A lot of the time, most people, you can see it like with our clips or whatever the case may be, you would rather have a short video than the fullness of what it is that we're saying. So therefore, if you're not even intelligent enough to understand that like, you might have context for what it is you're saying, but what people want is that. And they're not fueled
People
off
want
anything.
what?
They want that negativity. They want that they dusty and to be able to stand on something, especially when he's speaking to his audience, which again is if you're talking to the outcast, and I felt like I've been in that place before, but I still have reverence and respect for those that are older than me. I only have vitriol or anger or aggression towards people who directly disrespect me. And even then, that's between me and that person. It's not between me and what I think that whole person represents.
I think people want microwaved controversy.
Right. That makes sense.
I believe that because our time is truncated into these little bits throughout the day, we don't spend time, and you know, I talk about this with my students and things of that nature. We don't spend time reading. Mm-hmm. We don't spend time like consuming long form content in the form of like documentaries and things that would kind of challenge our minds to think critically.
Why are you speaking my language?
We don't spend a lot of time doing those things. And we don't do that because we're a society that's growing ever more and more less patient with our surroundings. And if we can't sit down to watch if we have to turn a 1 hour podcast into a 10-minute funny video segment to get some traction and success, that speaks not to us and our ability to entertain. It speaks more to the inability to sit and consume. And so ultimately, like the audience that Akademiks is feeding is those individuals that there's some irony there because they'll sit and deal with his podcast or his long form stuff, but it's just full of bullshit. You know what I mean? So people will sit and for a long time and pay attention to controversy, to arguments, to negativity, but we won't eat our vegetables.
All right, you know what?
You see what I'm doing here?
I saw what you did there. I almost outed you, but it's fine.
Don't out me.
I'm not.
I eat my vegetables. So stop playing games with me.
All three of them.
Nope.
Just so they can be there. Let's
3 of them.
Let's get to this last clip so we can just get done with the academics.
Okay.
Business like that. I had to learn it, and now I'm teaching. I get on my stream every single day. I'm over here trying to tell people, okay, I know y'all calling Future dumb because everybody's ownership. Let me break it down to y'all. Y'all don't do that. All y'all sell y'all masters. All y'all do it for $1, but you don't explain it to the people. Every artist who come in the game got more leverage. Every artist could at least negotiate more than you, but they fall into the same traps as you because you never told them. I can't respect y'all for that. I'm sorry. Especially when y'all talking for the culture. Now, LL, if I attacked you personally or financially, everything you said to me would be fine because you, by the way, you got way, way, way more money than me. I'll put it out there. But when I say about the older rappers is that y'all all are in it for yourself. Y'all never helped the newer rappers. Y'all never helped anybody else. When y'all complain why the labels are doing whatever they doing it because all signed don't at least share information. They all act like it's some solo shit and everybody get fucked. Why in 2023, every artist who signs to a record label is going to sign a contract, they're going to get fucked. Why?
So I want to address
business like that. I had to learn it, and now
I want to address really one major thing here. Or all right, so there's a lot. There's a lot there. So for one, he made a generalization about how pioneers or legendary artists don't do a good job at reaching back to those around them. And I could probably point out many different scenarios of evidence for why. Let me start with LL.
Mm-hmm.
So LL, along with Russell, along with Rick Rubin, Beastie Boys,
Keep talking.
all the individuals that were involved in early Def Jam history did a lot to pioneer or build up Def Jam in such a way where it could propel other people's careers, right? Because let's think about some people that came after LL that had their own businesses, that used the Def Jam model to create their own thing, right? Ludacris, right? So after beyond Ludacris, right? Who else is there?
You can say Jeezy.
Jeezy, right? Jay-Z, right? Like, there's a lot of individuals who watched LL, watched his moves in movies, in television, and emulated that rise. And if you think about where he got it from, who did he get it from? Will Smith.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, my bad. My brain
No, you're good. I didn't
my
set
brain
you up.
froze.
I didn't set you up right for that. But he got it from Will Smith. So, and Will Smith, in age and how he got into the culture, right?
Right.
Pioneered some other things.
Yes.
The first Grammy for hip hop, right? Teaching LL what the business looks like when it comes to, like, Akademiks acts like people don't have conversations outside of the external.
But no, here's the biggest point that he's missing. It was nothing. We created this in a foundation. So the things that they did, like, there are a lot of the pioneers who did not know the structure that is today because it didn't exist. So they were still getting screwed over in their deals. Like, it wasn't until, like, now, so, like, the thing started changing, and, like, we talk about the crucial pioneers who understood business, who understood getting your masters, but hell, Michael Jackson didn't have his masters for a very long time in a certain way.
Your mic.
My bad. And there are others who did not initially own their masters because they didn't understand. Like, throughout the 90s, the whole push was label, join a label, because that's what they had built and that's what they understood. So the newness of stepping out into your own business, knowing not what a 360 deal is and everything else, was because pioneers and others who were at a higher level, who learned from the sacrifices and everything, started to change. So even in this reaching back thing that he's talking about, some of them don't know.
Well, that is the sacrifice.
Yeah.
The sacrifice is the learning curve. Yeah. And here's the other point that I want to get to, and I'll play this back just one more time so I can get to that.
Fine, because you, by the way, you got way more money than me. I'll put it out there. But when I say about the older rappers is that y'all all are in it for yourself. Y'all never helped the newer rappers. Y'all never helped anybody else.
That's wrong. Like, that's 10,000% wrong. Because Jay-Z, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Jay-Z, right? He's not in this kind of pioneer class, so to speak, but he is a legend, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that Jay-Z is a pioneer, so to speak, but when it comes to helping other artists, he literally rapped about the business in his rhymes and then shared that business with everybody, with Cameron, with State Property. He shared that business with some of the people that come in and out. So Bleak, Emil, his whole entire crew. He shared that with newer folks on Rockefeller. So J. Cole, right? Meek Mill, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Rihanna.
Like 21 Savage is like, it has gotten actual talking advice from Jay, and like it, he does not discriminate to who he reaches back to.
And that's the problem, is that like Akademiks is seeing this from a very surface level point of view. He's seeing it as if these individuals aren't having conversations. Like they can't walk up to each other and just talk. Or they don't talk in the studio. Or they don't do this. Or they don't do this. And here's my last point I want to get to, and I play this in order to make that point.
When y'all complain why the labels are doing whatever they doing,
This
they
is
doing it because all signed don't at least share information. They all act like it's some solo shit and everybody get fucked. Why in 2023, every artist who signs to a record label is going to sign a contract, they're gonna get fucked.
That, number one, that's a wide generalization. Number two, the record labels are set up to fuck artists.
Have always been.
Bottom line, right? Who writes a contract that is not in their favor? Except for me. Who writes?
Listen, I was about.
What company writes a contract?
Nope.
What company writes? You gotta stop. Keep pressing the wrong button. What company writes a contract that is not in their favor? That's not going to take a majority of profit from the artist, right? 360 deals are designed to take, right? A traditional deal is designed to take, right? It's all about profit margin. If you're gonna lose money on somebody,
Right.
like, why would you write a contract where most of your losses are in your favor?
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me, and that's not how the business works. It's set up for people to fail. The other part of this, the third thing, artists treat record label money like winning the fucking lotto. And they do it all the time because record labels, when it comes to hip hop, target poor black folks that haven't been taught things about how to manage their money, how to manage their finances. They often give big advances to individuals they give big advances to individuals that are from the streets. They still stay in the streets sometimes after that. And then they reap all the negative consequences because of how this thing is written. It's a loan. It is a loan. And there's a lot of interest on that loan when it comes to the music business. And so individuals are not, it is not the pioneer's fault that individuals can't look up on the internet and understand what the structure of a deal is before they sign it. It is not their fault. In 2023, since that's what you want to talk about, Akademiks. It's 2023, right? We got the internets.
Nope.
We got the internets.
Nope.
We got something available. I make videos on it every single week, so nobody got an excuse.
Preach.
At least from me, you'll understand the workings of this music business. So let's not play this game like people can't look up information, like people can't read a contract, like people don't have autonomy or the responsibility, because Akademiks is big on personal responsibility, by the way. Like people don't have the responsibility of reading their own contracts and not getting effed in that way.
I go.
And if you play the freaking lotto, you're going to be bound to lose over and over again. And I can guarantee you that there are way more pioneers that have warned people against this business than individuals that have not.
The only thing I'll close out on saying is this. The other thing is that we as young people, a lot of times, will not bridge the gap to the actual understanding. Because we think that our way of street life or our way of doing this is going to be the innovation that I have to stay, that is going to change everything. You know, I have to stay so real, or I have to stay and do whatever. And it's like, we're not even open to the information. You acting like people have reached back and we said, yes, this is good information.
No, most people hadn't even don't even dive into the information that's available.
Like,
to them.
you just go off of what you know. Even, but I'm saying, like,
but it's the same phenomena of wanting that cookie cutter, that quick microwave information.
Yeah.
Right? Because it takes time to dive into the music business. It takes time to even have these conversations one-on-one, face-to-face.
Right.
But going against Akademiks' points, these conversations do happen.
Yeah.
They just don't happen in the public. And that's what he's missing. And they don't have to happen in front of everybody for them to actually be true.
And a lot of those people got guidance and just chose otherwise, which is another thing I feel like he doesn't take into account. So, but anyway, fuck the whole conversation in just a sense that's like, I respect the GOATs. I think you should respect those that have come before you. If somebody personally disrespects you the same way he was saying, like, that's a different conversation. You address that as a man, however you want to address that. But overall, just have respect for the people that paved the way for you. That's it. It costs you nothing. Like, because you still benefited off of what it is they did regardless. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you did, or you have thoughts on the conversation, put that down in the comments. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can be notified for every time we drop a video over at No Rhyme or Reason.
And buy this man some Mucinex.
Oh, God. Thank you. Send help.
Send help now.
Send help now.
Press that button.
Nope. Whoa. What? Rude, soundboard. Anyway. Look, man, we got new sounds, and this shit makes me laugh every time.
I'm focused, man.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one. A 1 and a 2, and peace.